It was just after midnight when the phone rang. The room was completely dark. The only light came from the small clock near my bed. Its numbers glowed softly, reminding me how late it was. The sound of the phone cut through the silence like a sharp blade. It was loud, sudden, and unsettling. At that hour, the world is supposed to be asleep. Nothing good usually comes from a call at midnight. I lay still for a few seconds, listening to the phone ring again. My heart began to beat faster. My mind searched for reasons. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe someone dialed the wrong number. Or maybe something was wrong. I reached out slowly and picked up the phone. "Hello?" I said, my voice low and careful. There was no answer at first, only silence. Then I heard breathing, soft, slow breathing. Someone was there. Someone was listening. Then a voice spoke my name. It said it gently, slowly, as if the person was afraid I might hang up, as if they were not sure I would recognize it. I did recognize it. My body froze. My hand tightened around the phone. My sleep disappeared in an instant. That voice came from a place I had buried deep inside myself, a place full of memories I had not touched in years. It was the voice of someone I once loved, someone I had lost, someone I thought I would never hear from again. I sat up in bed. The blanket slipped off my shoulders, but I did not feel cold. I felt warm and heavy at the same time. My chest felt tight. "Yes," I said finally. "I'm here." There was a small pause. Then the voice said it was sorry for calling so late. The words sounded careful, like each one had been chosen slowly. I said it was okay, even though my mind was racing. I did not know what else to say. We stayed quiet for a moment. The silence felt thick. It was not empty silence. It was full of things we never said, full of years that had passed without each other. The voice asked how I was. Such a simple question, but it felt very big. I said I was fine. It was not a lie, but it was not the whole truth either. The voice said it was glad to hear that. I could hear a small smile behind the words, or maybe I imagined it. I asked the same question in return. The answer came slowly. The voice said life had been busy, life had been hard, life had been full. I closed my eyes. Memories began to return, not all at once, but quietly, like old photographs taken out of a box one by one. I remembered laughter. I remembered long talks. I remembered walking together without saying anything, because silence felt safe back then. I also remembered the pain, the night we argued, the words that hurt, the way we turned away from each other, the way pride stood between us like a wall, the goodbye that did not feel finished. Time had passed since then, years, long years, filled with new people, new places, new responsibilities. But some memories do not fade. They wait patiently. The voice said, "I was thinking about you tonight." Those words stayed with me. They settled deep in my chest. I did not answer right away. I was thinking too, thinking about how strange life is, how people can be so close and then become strangers. The voice continued. It said it did not know why tonight felt different. It said something felt unfinished, something felt heavy, and it needed to be said. I listened. I did not interrupt. I had learned over time that listening can be more powerful than speaking. The voice talked about the past, about mistakes, about moments when fear spoke louder than love, about choosing the easy path instead of the honest one. The words were calm, but I could feel the emotion behind them. I remembered those moments too. I remembered how young we were, how sure we were that life would wait for us, how wrong we were. When the voice stopped, it was my turn. I took a deep breath. I said I had been angry for a long time. I said I felt hurt and forgotten. But I also said that anger does not last forever. Time changes things. Time teaches patience. Time teaches understanding. I said I no longer blamed anyone, not even myself. There was silence again, but this silence felt different. It felt softer, like two people sitting in the same room, even though we were far apart. Outside, the world was still asleep. Inside, something was waking up. The voice asked if I was happy. I thought carefully before answering. Happiness is a difficult word. It sounds simple, but it's not. Life is not always happy. Life is real. Life is complex. I said I was learning to be at peace. Peace felt like the right word. The voice said that was good, that peace was enough. Then the voice grew quiet. I could hear emotion building, even before the words came. It said this might be the last time we talked, not because of anger, not because of pain, but because life was changing again. New paths were opening, old doors were closing. The voice said it did not want to leave without telling the truth. My heart began to beat harder. The truth came gently. "You mattered to me," the voice said. "You always did." Tears filled my eyes. I let them fall. I did not try to stop them. They were not tears of sadness. They were tears of release. Sometimes we carry questions for years, questions without answers, and sometimes all we need is one honest sentence. I told the voice the same thing. I said thank you for calling, for remembering, for being brave. The voice sounded lighter after that, as if something heavy had been put down. We talked a little more about life, about growth, about how people change, about how love does not always mean staying. We did not make promises. We did not plan to meet. We understood each other without needing to say everything. Then it was time to say goodbye. This goodbye felt different from the last one. It felt complete. When the call ended, the room was silent again, but it did not feel lonely. I lay back down and stared at the ceiling. My heart felt calm, clear. That midnight phone call did not change my past. It did not rewrite my story, but it gave me something precious. It gave me closure. As the night slowly turned into morning, I closed my eyes with a quiet smile. Some calls come late, but they come exactly when they're needed.